Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2016 U.S. Amateur Championship from here at Strokers in Palm Harbor, Florida. Welcome back. For those of you wondering where we've been, well, we've been waiting on the outcome of one of these great matches here. This is Freddie Ognier, the corner man here with Jason Bowman. Freddie?
Thanks, Jason. Pleasure to be here. Got a great matchup for you here on the streaming table. I believe both of them have actually been on here before. Fernando Vaca set to break.
The deliberate
The
Fernando Vaca.
Yes.
Fernando's just coming out of a 3-hour match, folks. So if you wonder where we've been waiting for the outcome there.
Strategic matchup there.
Vaca, Vaca.
And he's playing David Littleton, yes?
David Singleton,
Singleton.
Port Orange, Florida, just south of Daytona, across the great state of Florida here. Freddie currently on the break. Looks like David opted to start in the 8-ball set.
Fernando Vaca to break, second ball break. Fernando is a deliberate player. Had a pretty tough safety battle in his last match to win it. So I think one game ended up being over an hour long.
Yeah, that last game was something. That
right.
8-ball stuck in that corner, and Fernando just kind of built a perimeter around it and forced his opponent into finally making a mistake.
Starts off with a second ball break, made a stripe in the, we'll leave it to stripe 1, 2. Tough ball on the table is going to be the 13. If you can clear the 15 ball, the maroon striped ball right in front of him, if you can make that ball, he opens up the table, hoping to run this out. 15 in the corner, playing up table for the 10 ball in the side pocket, I suppose, or the 14 in the side, either one.
Freddie's starting to pick up here at Strokers, buddy.
It's the afternoon, people are waking up.
So much for the quiet morning.
That's right. And this happens at a lot of pool halls, right?
Yeah.
And again, Fernando is a very deliberate player. I think a lot of people with this wide open out would have been already be shooting at the third ball or fourth ball. Very careful with the 13. The 13 is everything here.
Fernando from Gaithersburg, Maryland. I guess near, just outside Washington, D.C. Only do it on the bottom, not the top?
This bottom here is preview, and this is program. So
Gotcha.
This is live, this is preview. So like you can switch it like that. Hit the auto button. And then you hit that little gear icon. And that's how you change the score. Just type in a number. And then click off of it. And you need to bring the score up and you do that.
Gotcha. We're getting a crash course in equipment back here, folks. Freddie, I hope you caught all that. I know you're a mechanical engineer. So,
yeah, I catch none of it. You know, it's one of those cases where the less I know, the less I can get in trouble for. I've got enough trouble opening up my mouth. I don't have to use my hands, too. Meanwhile, Fernando was agonized over where to put that ball, so it looks like he ended up putting in not such a great spot. Looked like he wanted the 9 ball next. He has 2 trouble balls, the 13 ball and then the 10 ball. And I think he was trying to fight for the 9 ball. And went a little bit too far, so he's going to come with a shot here. 9 ball in the corner pocket.
I was going to say, it'll be interesting to see how Fernando plays here coming off that really long 11 a.m. match. Again, we just mentioned a 3-hour-long match. We'll see how much gas he has left in the tank.
Yeah, he probably could have taken a break. Needs to slide over without hitting any balls. He did hit a ball. He didn't make the ball. And it's not a sellout. The 8 ball doesn't have much room to go here. I think David will take a look at the 8 ball if it passes into the side pocket off the 14, and if it does clear, then he's got it out.
I know we had some folks asking about the outcome of the Brian Parks, Brett Stottlemyre match. Brian has won that match and will move on to face the winner of this match. So he's going to have a little time off. Hopefully not time to cool off, maybe just grab a bite to eat and
both Brian
scout his opponents here.
Both Brian and Brett looked pretty strong in that match. Unfortunately for both of them, there was on the B side, pretty loose shot there from David. His first shot of his match for them for this table today, and chunked it into the rail. See if Fernando can gather himself here because he's been given a gift.
It's going to be interesting, these player styles. Obviously, we talked about Fernando, very deliberate. David,
David,
more of a shooter, more of a
no,
quick guy, right?
David is pretty deliberate also.
Yeah.
He plays pretty patiently. Oh, he just barely crawled that ball in there, and you see overcut it, and I think he actually wanted to get up table. The 10 ball is still going to be an issue for him.
Have a question here about Daniel Gamble. Yes, Daniel won his Hill match against David Singleton. That's why you're seeing David here. Daniel will square off against.
Daniel's still on the winner's side.
Yeah, Daniel's undefeated and is going to play. Let's see here.
Just slow roll this ball in. Really wants the 10 ball up table.
Yeah, Daniel's going to get the local guy, James Adams, in the undefeated round.
James is playing pretty well.
Yeah, both these guys playing good.
James is on the stream in the last match.
You know,
It's been so long. I think it was the last match.
yeah, no kidding. I think both of them are desperately trying to stay in stroke, if you will, practicing as best they can while they kind of wait out some of these matches.
Fernando got just on the wrong side of this ball that he almost might be forced to play the 14 ball up table instead of in the easy side, or he's going to have to pound this ball and bounce it off the cushion and not disturb the 8 ball. And the way it looks like he's aiming to actually hit the 14. Seems strange. And he did hit the 8. And he put the 8 in a bad spot. I don't believe the 8 ball goes now. It might crawl into the side pocket, but he's on the wrong side of the 14 to get there.
If you're just tuning in, of course, we're starting in the 8-ball set here. One of the unique things about the U.S. Amateur Championship format is the combination of 8-ball and 9-ball. You'll have 5 games of 8-ball and potentially 8 games of 9-ball here in this match. Again, Fernando. Freddie's the commentating with me. Fernando wins the lag, decides to take the break. David Singleton opted to start in the 8-ball rack. So, of course, double elimination up until the final match of the U.S. Amateur Championship. Both these players having one loss. One of them will exit, I believe, in 5th place. The other will move on to face Brian Parks.
If the 8 ball goes on the side, he'll just go up and down the table. But it mustn't be all that easy. He's labored over this for quite a while, but then again, he is a methodical player. He doesn't look like he's trying to hit it all that hard. Now he takes a big backstroke. This 8 ball must be off the cushion enough and not into the side pocket.
Tough to see from
the
camera
there.
angles we have.
But that's where he played it, and now he's grimacing, and he's got the head shake. So, interesting spot where he put it. He played it for this corner pocket, but then he grimaced. So, just tells me that cue ball's gonna catch the point and do something funny, do a little double turn pirouette. Hopefully, it doesn't go in the side pocket for him. And he's made it. He had the Allen Hopkins style follow through on that one.
Fernando takes a early 1-0 lead in this race to 7.
David had a gift run out there and he chunked the first ball. Probably looking ahead. 1-0.
Remind you folks back home, those that are interested in participating in the U.S. Amateur Championship next year, go to our website at poolplayers.com. You can give us your name and your email address, and when that entry window opens in April, we'll make sure we get a hold of you and let you know. So, great event. Been a great last several days here in Palm Harbor. The weather couldn't have been better.
Just north of Tampa, Palm Harbor is.
Absolutely beautiful here this week.
As it normally is.
Yeah. No complaints about this area of the country.
This has been about the 5th or 6th year that this event has been here.
Yeah, 2009 was our first year down here.
Oh, it's been
of course,
many more years.
Yeah, 7 years, I guess.
I believe this is a dry break. Every ball is in the same quadrant. Well, not quite, but this is one of those second ball break layouts, and got to just pick the right ball and pick through it. A lot of people might think that this is going to be some kind of strategic game, but it feels to me that if David makes the 2 ball, he's going to go for the run out all the way, get him the 4 ball somehow, and that'll get to the one, and that's the riddle to solve in this rack.
Yeah.
Looks like a back and forth, trying to get to the 4 ball. And if doesn't have the 4 ball, he's got 3 balls. And as insurance, it looks like he came up
Whew.
dead perfect.
Yeah. Not a lot of room to work with, but he's.
If this
like
4
he's right
ball
where he needs to
goes,
be.
which I believe it does, somehow he needs to stop the 4 ball. It looks like he's perfect. You could have, if you had ball in hand, this is the line you'd shoot. Stop shot on the 4 ball, and he missed it,
Oh.
unfortunately, and he lost position on the 1, but he would have been able to shoot the 6. But that was the shot that solved this rack. Make it sound so easy, but that's what everybody would be looking at as players.
David just came off a tough, I shouldn't say just came off, but his last match against Daniel Gamble at Hill Hill. Tight match.
Fernando being as methodical and safety oriented. I wouldn't be surprised if he shot the 9 ball here and take over a pocket. That seems to be a play that a lot of conservative people will shoot. Me, I'd be shooting the 10 ball and going crazy with the next shot.
Don't know much about Fernando other than kind of his style of play. It's not someone that I'm familiar with. Curious if anybody out there on the chat knows Fernando, knows a little bit about him. Feel free to weigh in. And
there was the lock-up safety, takes away the 5 ball and the 6 ball. As soon as I say that, David is looking at the 6 ball. I don't believe he can actually hit that ball. He's got to go 1 rail to it. And nothing blocks the stripes at this point, so it looks like he needs to kick at the 1 ball, maximize his kicking effort, try to make the 1, clear the 1. And even though it gives up an open table if he doesn't make it, he can't win with it sitting there at the beginning. So he may go ahead and shoot this ball, which is, I think, that's the play that a lot of people will do for exactly those reasons.
got some folks asking about Daniel Gamble's match against James Adams. I believe they're holding off. I know that was scheduled for 3 p.m., but again,
sure,
have fallen a little bit behind. So I think they're letting them kind of wait until the rest of the bracket catches up,
right,
so they don't go straight in and they get cold waiting. So
yeah,
we will be streaming them. It's just a matter of getting to their match first. So.
That match would be held up no matter what.
Right.
But because we were almost like a round behind because of Fernando's last matchup, it's going to even be longer. I think.
So not to worry, we will have them. It's just going to be a little bit. You're looking for a different camera angle here. Let's see what we can give you.
Fernando's got the wide open rack that he was hoping for. Starting with the 11 ball, and really nothing looks too tough here if you want to invent the tough shots, the 10 ball in the corner pocket.
Of course, this is a race to 7, folks. We're going to play 5 games of 8 ball, a maximum of 8 games of 9 ball. If you're just now tuning in, you're watching live coverage of the 2016 U.S. Amateur Championship produced by the American Pool Players Association here at Strokers in Palm Harbor, Florida.
The APA, the governing body of amateur pool. Haven't heard too many people say that, so I had to throw that in.
Yeah, we tend to use the acronym. I tell you what, at APA, we have tons of acronyms that we like. So, yeah, if you haven't been around, sometimes you get a little confused.
I think it's a good point, because if you keep on saying APA and you don't know that's pool,
right,
people wouldn't know what they're watching.
Kenny Brisbane, yes, Kenny has been eliminated. Of course, if you're interested in finding out where your favorite player is, I encourage you to go to our website, poolplayers.com, go to the U.S. Amateur Championship info, and you can look at the whole bracket. You can kind of see, you know, who's done what in the tournament. You can search by the player name. That's all part of that CompuSport bracket, which is excellent, has really added to our ability to keep people apprised of what's going on here.
Fernando came up a little bit short here. Had he come up 2 or 3 more revolutions, he would have already shot this 14 in the corner pocket. As it is, he came up a little short. Now he's kind of has to convince himself that is this still the shot he wants to shoot. Cue ball's going the wrong way for him. He's got to draw this past the 15 or flirt with the side pocket. Looks like past the 15 and come back down in between the 3 balls, the 13, the 10, and the 12 ball. Doesn't want to hit the 15. Oh, he did decide to flirt with the side pocket. Shot it pretty well. And I think as most 8-ball players would look at this, the 8-ball looks like it has to go in the side pocket, with the 10 ball being the key ball, the last ball before the 10 ball.
I notice Fernando uses that, what is that, a Q sleeve? What do they call that thing he's got on the end there?
I know what it is. I'll come up with it in a second, but it's some sort of sleeve, bridge
yeah,
sleeve.
Yeah, it's basically, yeah, it's a sleeve that kind of helps with the stroke, you know. eliminates that friction that you might use powder or something for, right?
I used to play a tournament, and one of the top players there, actually used a napkin. He just changed out his napkin once in a while.
Yeah, well, whatever works, I guess.
I guess I could never do it because my hands would sweat, and therefore I'd be, you know, taking up the entire napkin stock.
Yeah, I don't know that I've seen anyone else here other than Fernando use that. I think a Q sleeve is what that's
Q
called, right?
sleeve, I think
Q
so.
sleeve. There's a never-ending
Yeah.
supply of different revolutionary billiard products out there that
Right.
try to alter the game in some way. So the Q sleeve is one of the newer ones, I guess. And Fernando seems comfortable with it.
He's come up a little short again here, and now he's jacked up over a ball, and with a little bit of an angle, he's going to have to come with a shot because he wanted to be holding the shot for the 10 ball. And he looks like with his arm up strokes, he's hitting back and forth or coming down table for the 15. Here, back and forth, and he's going to be gonzo here. He doesn't have a shot, and you know he doesn't look like a guy that shakes his head. You know, the most of us when we come up bad, we
Show
do
some frustration,
right.
some kind of emotion. Yeah, I don't
Right.
see a lot of emotion from Fernando
now.
here.
I mean, obviously with the chalk tap, there's a shake of a head.
Yeah.
Fine, here you go. Now I know he's alive. There's no combination that he can shoot at this point, unless he wants to jump combination. He can't kick at his 10. Well, he's come up with something here. Now, if this 15 actually goes, does he have a combination here? It looks like he's shooting dead into the 3 ball.
Some folks here commenting about Fernando's pace. Yes, we are aware that he's, I think we've chose to refer to it as very deliberate, methodical.
Methodical.
Will be as
And as soon
as
as I
gracious
say
as
that
we
there
can
isn't a
be.
combination, he found one.
There it is.
That was fantastic. I like that he proved me wrong there. The 8 ball does go into the corner pocket. You see Fernando putting his eagle eye out there to see it. This will be a tremendous shot if he can get a position on this 8 ball. It goes in a couple of different pockets, but with the 7 sitting right there, it's awfully tight to get anywhere. And the 5-6 are in his way to go just jetting forward. I think if he goes straight forward, he's going to flirt with the corner pocket. But he's come through in the last couple of shots, so this is why he's still here.
Yeah, again, one of these players will move on, the other will be eliminated, but they will finish tied for 5th. So
5-6.
one way or another, both these players have you know, pretty outstanding weekend here at the U.S. Amateur
Absolutely.
Championship. No small feat to finish in 5th
Every
place.
player here is a champion. They've had to win qualifiers to get here, and for sure they win
Right.
other things, you know, in their region.
Sure. Yeah, you look at the resume of most of these guys, and they're either involved in APA or league activity somewhere, and most of them make some of the regional tour circuits and that kind of thing.
Really nice shot. Shot it between the 6 and the pocket, 2 rails around, and he has a shot on the 8 ball, and you expect him to make this ball well within the repertoire of players of the caliber that come here. And he's made it.
Slow and steady wins the game
I
there
think
for
so.
Fernando. He's now up 2-0.
2-0. You know, his style of game can throw a lot of people off. He's got a
I-
couple things going on that would completely get people out of stroke. One is the pace of his.
Right,
He's very deliberate,
right.
and I do not fault him for that. That's the way he plays. The other part is the Q sleeve.
Yeah.
If most of us play against somebody with a Q sleeve and that slow, it almost looks like he doesn't know what he's doing, and yet
Yeah.
he's running out.
He just kind of wears you down, right, with the pace. Lulls you to
A false
to
sense
sleep.
of security, but all you have to do is look at the score. It's 2-0.
Yeah, it's working for him.
Fernando Vaca. Fernando is, I'd like to find out more about his background. He's played a couple of 2 or 3 railers that tells me he is a billiard player.
Yeah, I was hoping some folks there on the chat might know Fernando and weigh in on some facts about him. He's not a player we're overly familiar with. I just know he's from the Washington, D.C. area where he plays APA, but
Pretty good break there. Ball's spread out a little bit more than the last rack first shot's going to be tough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did he make 2 balls? 2 high balls. So take what you make. Got to shoot the high balls. I think he's got a pocket for the 11 and the 15, but both of them are a pocket combined. Half the pocket to one, half the pocket to the other. 11
Oscar,
in the
you
corner.
know Fernando? Why don't you tell us a few things about Fernando? We'd love to do some fact finding on him.
That's a great shot from that distance, rolling it in. And as we can see here, the 10 ball, the blue striped ball, is married up with the 5 ball, the orange ball, just to the right of the cue ball as you view it on the stream. So that'll be the challenge, and the second worst challenge, or second best challenge, I suppose, is the 14, the green striped ball, being blocked by the 4 ball, the purple ball.
Fernando's going to grab the bridge. Fernando grew up in Bolivia, learned to play on very narrow pockets. That's interesting.
Very narrow pockets. What would he play in Bolivia that has very narrow pockets? I guess it would be a pool table, but I would have to believe that he played 3 cushion if he's going to be in Bolivia.
Huh.
Any of the countries that were empirically dominated by France or Spain would have billiard tables, non-pocketed billiard tables, and any of the countries that were imperially dominated by England would have pocketed tables.
Well, that's interesting.
Very good shot there to get on the 14. But again, the 10 ball is the toughest ball on the table. He might be able to break that out here. And I would say surely to goodness he's not going to be playing for a 10-12 combination, but he's already fooled me about 6 times. He plays a little bit different patterns.
Yeah, I'd love to know his track record here at the U.S. Amateur Championship. Again, I'm not sure that he's ever qualified.
I don't remember his name coming up the last few times.
Very
I've been
unfamiliar
down
to
here
me.
occasionally. He actually has an angle here to just play this ball and bump into the 5, but he's in danger of getting trapped on those balls. He is slow and steady, but he's been steady. I mean, even this rack here, his first shot was a slow roll on the 11 ball, full length of the table with a quarter ball cut to a half of a pocket, or at least not a full pocket, and drilled it. If he's going to win this game, he has to break out the 10 here. 14 in the corner, 1 rail across to hit the 5 ball, I think is what he wants to do. Not the 10 ball, but somewhere in between them, I suppose. When he takes that long backswing, I think he's going to shoot it, and he doesn't. And there's the danger there. If he'd hit it to the 5 ball, he would have been clear for the 10. But since he hit the 10 ball, he ended up being blocked.
A lot of comments here about shot clock. I don't believe it's utilized here.
Nope.
Now, I know that the floor managers did talk to him after that last round and said, speed it up, but there is no formal shot clock here, as far as I know, at least.
And quite honestly, this would have been the first time ever to even bring it up.
Yeah.
This year, I don't remember anybody ever remember saying anything about a shot clock before.
Yeah.
Well, he got blocked with this 5 ball. He could see the 10. I guess he's playing a combination. He really has to. I think he realizes he's left a wide open rack here and he's got to do something. And he's a good shot maker that he's probably 50-50 to make this. And the 1 ball made the pocket big. It goes. It would have gone in any rule set. It would have been legal in any rule set.
Yeah, between his early lead and his pace of play, I feel like we've hardly seen David at all. I wonder how he's doing over there. He's just kind of waiting and waiting and waiting.
I know exactly what's happened with David. He's probably taken a nap and should be well rested by the time he gets to the table.
That's got to be challenging.
We're just kidding around there. I mean, you know, this is a case where we've got a methodical player, and the thing is, he's getting through these racks.
Yeah.
Right? If he was methodical and missing, then that'd be a different conversation. He's already come up with a couple shots like this. He's going to hit this 10 with a little bit of draw and go 3 rails around, 8 ball in the corner pocket. like to see his elbow, see if it stays dead still. On the warm-up strokes it did. Yeah, pretty good mechanics there. Perfect shot. Excellent.
Nicely done.
That was really excellent. If we had a good shot at his mechanics, his head was still, elbow dead still, and even well after he struck that ball, freezing there, knowing full well he made it. The Q sleeve is working. Somebody's got to tell us if that really is what it's called.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I think it's a Q sleeve. Maybe the chat folks can weigh in on that.
Could be just his
This
dish
is
rag
for
that he just
this
kinda
is
put
Fernando
together.
shooting currently, pocketing the 8-ball. So he's showing no ill effects from the marathon match he just came off of. Again, he's now up 3-0 on David
3-0.
Singleton. So
I mean, he is off to a sprint here. Sprinting away.
yeah, David will rack once again. Prepare for our 4th game in the 8-ball set again. 5 games of 8-ball, potentially 8 games of 9-ball.
And that was a break and run. He made 2 stripes in the break. Ran right through them. Solved his problem. Got a little lucky on that combination. In fact, he got a lot lucky, but he shot at a combination that had a big pocket and got out. That's the big key. Second ball break again.
Some folks, Freddie, that enjoyed your classifying this as a sprint for Fernando.
That's right. Made a ball, and this is probably his best break yet.
Oh, we are. Just informed by Bill Tufts, director of tournament productions, Fernando is now on a shot clock. So apparently that was something they had discussed prior to the match with Fernando. And based on, again, the pace of play, they feel it's necessary to keep this tournament moving. Of course,
Yeah, we don't
final
want this,
day competition.
Right, we don't want this tournament to end at 2 in the morning or
Right.
something like that when it didn't have to. Looking to sneak this 13 past the 10. This is actually a pretty touchy shot, but if he makes it, it looks like the game winner. Oh, he played the combination. Right at the last moment, it looks like he shifted his hands.
I'll have to see if I can't get with Bill to get a little more information on what the shot clock time would be and what the penalty that would be enforced there would be. But I believe it would be ball in hand foul.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
what do you do there? Because it's not like this is set up for shot clock. It's not a you don't have a timer out there where people are can see it, and there isn't a referee that calls out 10 seconds. So good to find out. Meanwhile, David's at the table with his, he had a good opportunity before and missed the first shot. He's got another opportunity with the 7 ball, the maroon 7 ball that's just underneath his shoulder, now coming into view, being blocked by the 13 and 10 in the bottom right corner. So he has to get there. Of course, he can get to the 7 from the 4 ball or the 1 ball, but there happens to be
we need to
a
ask him about
3
that.
ball up table.
Let's see if we can't get Bill over here to get some details on the situation with the shot clock.
Well, he's come up with a shot to be able to shoot the 3 ball, which could be what blocks the 7 ball, but now he's going to come down table. Just 1 rail across. 1 rail across just below the side pocket should get him on a straight shot on the 4 ball. He didn't go 1 rail across. He just drew, well, still 1 rail. Drew it down. I'm assuming he wanted to go straight across the table. And the wag of his head tells me that it wasn't quite the path he was looking for, but he's come up pretty good.
Freddie, some more details from Bill Tufts, the director of tournament productions, on the shot clock. So both players now officially on a 30-second shot clock being kept by the floor manager. Foul will result in ball in hand. So we'll see if that speeds it up here. It'll be very interesting to see.
Well, that was unfortunate there for David because when he shot the 3 to the 4, he came up what looked to be really perfect, but apparently he must have had just a slight angle going the wrong way, so he decided to slow roll it as straight as he could, and unfortunately that put the 4 ball into the rail. 30 seconds each when, and we can see the timer in the background. Mike is back there with a squatting down. I assume that's what he's doing. Maybe
No, I'm not sure. The official would be Jim Badger or Mark Lancaster. I don't believe you see them anywhere on the camera, but they may just be right off table there behind the camera angle we have. So
Fernando played a safety, which I think we're going to see more safeties out of Fernando than they were going to see out of David.
David, in his third time here at the U.S. Amateur Championship, finished 25th last year, his highest finish here at the U.S. Amateur. Says he prefers playing 8-ball, but has been playing better 9-ball, interestingly enough, in the tournament. So
It is interesting. David has that exuberance of almost like the new player exuberance. He's been playing for quite a while, but he is a fairly young man, 29 years old.
yeah,
and he's
29 years, been playing since he was 13.
still excited about this game, and
Boy, he
it's
was. We
exciting.
talked to him for a few minutes, and man, he was
very
pumped.
excited about the game.
Said his goal was to be playing with the stars
That's
on TV.
right, on
so
TV.
he's on the stream. He's halfway there.
Well, Fernando didn't take much time to shoot at that ball. It was almost a safety in that case, or a two-way shot, I suppose you can say. David's not going to two-way anything here. There's no safety for him to shoot. There's too many high balls left on the table.
Again, some more questions about the shot clock. That's correct. Both players now on a 30-second shot clock as a result of some slow play.
30 seconds is an awfully short amount of time in 8-ball. The game is a little more cerebral than 9-ball, so it'd be something to see whether or not that's going to become an issue for sure. I can't tell if he's banking. He is banking. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely need the time shot clock on this to keep the tournament going.
Right. Yeah. Bill providing as much insight as he can on the shot clock situation, but really a result not just of what you've seen in the early part of this match, but the last match. Again, rounds generally here are assigned a 2-hour time limit. The last round actually went full 3 hours, so has thrown things a little bit out of a loop here, and in an effort to get players out, you know, for flights and trips back home, some of which are leaving tonight. Felt it necessary to put, and again, both players on the shot clock, so it's not just one player where this is being imposed. It's both ways. So.
Well, Fernando is back at the table, and now he does have that wide open table. And if he shoots a 13, you know, he's committed to go all the way out, because the 13 was the only thing that was blocking the 7-ball. He's now pushed his 14 in a tougher position, but it still goes in 2 pockets. And I expect him, if he's been like the other matches or games, looks like he should be able to get out here.
Jared's asking if this is an open event. Yeah, this event is open not just to APA members, but non-members alike. Just a matter of entering a preliminary that's held in mid-September and placing high enough to advance here to the championship rounds. Okay. Good to know. So yeah, there were some questions about, you know, what about difficult shots? Is there an extension? Floor manager here will have the discretion on a more challenging shot to give them an additional extension. So again, just trying to keep this match moving so we can keep the tournament moving.
Well, this shot here looks like the game winner. Slightly off angle into the side pocket. Side pocket becomes very small here. He's got to be able to get this forward and get position. And he's done it.
Yeah, again, folks, this is not the final match. This is actually the match to decide who will finish in 5th place and who will move on. I believe we have three rounds after this round concludes.
Fernando looks like he's hitting low. It's tough to tell if he's dead straight on this ball. I would have expected him to just follow that ball. And we've noticed a few times now that on certain shots like that, his follow-through goes up in the air, but still the ball goes in the hole. This one, you might as well just hit a stop shot and take the slightly tough cut in the 8-ball on the side instead of trying to draw it back and be in danger of the weird follow-through breaking down his form.
Again, score here is 3-0 in favor of Fernando, who's at the table. This is a race to 7.
And he's done that, pretty much just a stun shot and taken the slightly tough cut in the 8-ball on the side. Should have no problem with this.
Well, the shot clock doesn't seem to have hindered him so far.
So far, and I would have to say that usually people who take an abnormally long time do actually shoot better if they quicken it up,
Yeah.
but that's not everybody. I think as we watch him, there are going to be 100 people on the stream that will talk about who's slower, right?
Getting a lot of questions about the prizes awarded to the winners. Of course, the U.S. Amateur Championship, one of the rare events in pool, maybe the only event where there's no cash prize payout. These players, are here playing. Number one, I think, for their love of the game, but they also obviously get, the championship trophy. They get the paid entry,
And it's a title that never
and
goes
travel.
away.
That's the biggest thing. So they're going to move on to a pro event next year. They're going to return to defend their title. But I think if you were to ask most of them, they're here trying to cement their billiard legacy, right? The winner here receives the Larry Hubbard Memorial Trophy.
The Iceman.
Their name is forever placed on the traveling trophy. So again, it's an opportunity to kind of leave your legacy, which I think everybody is is important to most people. And
Sure. I think any title is, but this is probably the premier amateur title
Right.
with a couple of other ones, but definitely this is one of the premier amateur titles out there.
And it's interesting to see the dynamic when the prize money goes away. I mean, you see great sportsmanship here. You see, just overall better dress. Just a lot of respect for the game here, and I think that's what's unique about the U.S. Amateur Championship, in addition to the format. Again,
Right.
we've talked a lot about the format, the combination 8-ball and 9-ball. So,
Yeah, you're playing for something a little bit more important than money.
right now, all the players that qualify for the championship round here in Tampa, they get their hotel accommodations paid
Easy.
for at the DoubleTree over there on Rocky Point, the island here, right on the bay. Very nice facilities.
And for those of you who've never been to Florida and to the Tampa area and Rocky Point, you are missing something.
It's
So
sweet.
get yourself
It
out
is
here.
sweet. The
I've,
drive over every morning coming across the bay, it's just gorgeous.
I lived in this area for 5 years and will always love this area, and I own a house here, so
Yeah.
always coming back.
Well, you've got San Diego on the other coast, so
That's
you're.
right, so I got the best of it.
Yeah, you've traded. You made a fair trade.
David tried to break out his one ball, but he didn't really hit it all that hard and just made it even more clustered. And I'm afraid that he's going to put this into a safety style of play because there's nothing for him to do with that one ball, and Fernando doesn't exactly have a hanger to break those balls out either. Someone's going to have to take a chance.
Quick programming tutorial from Mr. Alvin Nelson, who's been here all weekend working hard with Inside Pool, helping us out, bringing you folks all the coverage, every round.
I love what David's done here. He's saying forget about the safety battle on this. It doesn't feel like that's going to be worth it. He is playing the bank on the 2-ball and trying to smash into these other balls. Now he's just trying to figure out which one can he smash into to actually get to the 1-ball. It looks like nothing gets him to the 1-ball, but I think he's just going to rear back and fire. He's looked at the 13, he's looked at the 12, so here comes the bank of the 2 right down to the 12. The world is going crazy here. Hold on.
One ball goes up.
Boy, he really didn't get a good break here because he did get that 1-ball out. He would have been better off if the 1-ball dropped and he could bank the 8-ball, but right now I don't think he can actually see this, and every ball that exists up there blocks his path. If he could actually get there, negotiate, and hit this 1-ball in, it looks like he's about 70% to be hooked on something and about 80% to be hooked on it badly.
Says here, David's 9-ball team, 17th place last year at the APA National Team
Nationals, yeah.
Championships. Pretty impressive finish. Looks like he's had some previous success, so we'll see how far he can ride that here.
I'm surprised he's going to looks like he's going to go for the tie-up game, tie up the 8, but it feels like he really should just go ahead. If he shot that last shot, he might as well go to the other side of the table and kick at the 1-ball, do a short kick, and hope it clears out the 12. And that's what he's looking at right now, finally. Watch your chalk, as he laid down the chalk as if he was marking it, but that's not what he's doing. He just happened to lay it down, asking for somebody to watch the hit here. I think this will be an easy call for those of you who do refereeing a lot.
That's interesting, isn't it? Generally, the guy away from the table that would ask for a referee to watch the hit.
Well, that's the sportsmanship, right? And
Okay.
we've seen this
Okay.
all week, that the player that's been shooting, it's not just been Dave, it's been at least 3 or 4 players as I've been doing the stream, have said something back to the opponent and said,
Okay.
you know, you need to watch this hit.
Yeah.
All these guys know what's happening here. I look at this again, and if he does hit this, he's got a great shot at getting some cut. He's not at that speed, though. No. I like that he hit the other ball, and yet he still looked up just to wait for the guy who was making the call to say foul.
Of course, that's Mark Lancaster, one of our officials, Mark from the Raleigh, North Carolina APA. He and Jim Badger from the Memphis APA here, both league operators helping to officiate these matches.
Meanwhile, the position that was left, the 1 ball and the 12 ball are hanging in the pocket, and Fernando is not electing to shoot at that 12 directly. He's going to play a combination. I don't mind this play at all because the 1 ball could end up funny, that there wouldn't be another shot. So he's decided to play this way, and he actually played both balls in. Not bad. In fact, I'm thinking that a lot of people on the internet just assumed he was playing both balls, and I guess he was.
Again, if you're just now tuning in, you're watching live coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship here at Strokers, Palm Harbor, Florida. Currently, Fernando Vaca leading 4-0 over David Singleton.
Fernando Vaca. Vaca means cow in Spanish.
Interesting.
Draw back 6 inches for the 11 ball in the side pocket, and if the 9 ball still there, so be it. Unfortunately, he did not draw back, and as you can see here, he's put himself into no man's land. I don't believe that the 10 ball, the blue stripe ball in front of him, goes into the side pocket, but if it does, he'll shoot it now. And I would expect then a safety on the 14 ball, which is up table. I don't believe he's going to play this 2 ways because he doesn't want to be faced with a long shot to shoot back at the table. Banking the 14 to the other corner pocket and playing safe. I don't think he wants us to go in. He didn't hit it with the speed to go in.
My good friend Jen Miller and the folks at the River Valley APA tuning in. Good to see them. Rob and Jen, Dan up there. Had the chance to be up there in March. A lot of good APA, a lot of fun APA members up there. So glad they're watching. David Singleton at the table here.
Dave's going to kick 1 rail using some kind of dissecting angle system. Oh, if he stares at this long enough, it looks like he can see some paint.
Some folks asking about Brian Parks. Brian is still
Still
alive
in.
and well in this year's championship. He does have 1 loss.
He's on the B side, the west side.
He will be playing the winner of this game.
David Singleton at the table. Fernando Vaca up 4-0. The shot clock is at 30 seconds, but he's clearly gone over 30 seconds here. And
Yeah, and
say
I'm
that on
assuming the
some of
observer is giving him a little more time based on the shot. So, and some Bakersfield APAs rooting for Brian. We've got the Washington APA folks rooting for David here. Or I'm sorry, for Fernando. David from the other side of the state here, just the Daytona area.
It's going to be a little tough here because David is actually taking more time than most of the shots that Fernando is. Of course, it's a tougher shot, but, you know, when it comes down to it,
Ooh.
Fernando is going to ask for a little bit of forgiveness, I think, at some point. I say that, but you know what? I think Fernando doesn't even care. He's just here to play.
Well, he fully
slowly,
admits
right?
that he plays slow. In fact, he came over to
Right.
the tournament desk and he said, "Sorry guys, I play slow." So he knows that he plays slow. It's not foreign to him. So we'll just see if he can keep up with that shot clock they have implemented here.
Another interesting play. Instead of playing the 10 ball straight, it looks like he's going to play the 11 off the 10 to break it out. I find this fascinating if that's what he's doing. when it looks like he could play the 10 ball straight in with ball in hand. Instead, it looks like he's playing 11 off the 10, kicking out the 10, and really playing funny position, but he did manage to clear it up, which was his intention. He didn't want to even goof around with playing the 10 ball, even though he could have played it with ball in hand.
Some folks asking about the James Adams Daniel Gamble match. Of course, that is scheduled for 3 p.m., but that match is not going to start at 3 p.m. Again, we are running somewhat behind here, the U.S. Amateur Championship, so going to let the bracket start to catch up before we put those guys on a table so they don't get too cold.
Fernando has a funny angle here that he has to go back and forth instead of being able just to slow roll this, which is what he did. A lot of players here want to play the 10 ball after the 9 ball rather than playing the 10 ball last. So I expect him to go 2 rails forward, which is natural, right to the center of the table. I'm about to say there's no way he shoots the 15, but he's fooled me so many times. I hate to be so definitive, but there's no way he shoots the 15, so here he goes, 15 on the side. Short. Oh my.
Gets it to go.
It went in off the inside point. Well, I'd love to see that shot again. You know, on the table next to it, there's a diamond table. If that had been that table, no
wouldn't
chance.
have been as
Fortuitous,
gracious, huh?
that's right. 1 rail down. He's hitting with high as if, oh, he's spinning it. A lot of spin there. Didn't feel like he needed to. He's almost in the same angle as he was shooting from before, and he didn't go 2 rails forward with it. Is he going to go 2 rails forward with it now? Another case where I would say there's no way he's shooting the 8 ball in the side pocket, but apparently that's what he wants to do. I think most players are either going to draw this or follow this 2 rails for the 8 ball in one of the 2 corner pockets. But he's going to slow roll it, 8 ball on the side. Why not? And if he makes this ball, he has shut out David Singleton in the 8 ball, and they'll be off to the 9 ball. Fantastic shooting here by Fernando Vaca, 5-0.
Fernando all the time so far. Again, that last match not seeming to slow him. So that's the word, right? Not seeming to slow him down.
I mean, he has chosen some seriously conservative routes, but that's the same word, isn't it?
Yeah. Just depends on what part of the country you're saying it in.
But clearly, it's working for him, and you can't disagree with his choices when he's running out.
Yeah, so Fernando now leads 5-0. Again, folks, this is a race to 7. You see him removing the
Extra
striped balls, the high number balls, with the exception of the 9 ball from the table, as we are moving from the 8 ball set into the 9 ball set. Of course, Fernando now only needing 2 games to secure the match, but we may see a potential of up to 8 games of 9 ball if David is able to mount a comeback here. So he's run out of time, though, Freddie. He's,
sure.
I know it. You know, it's not uncommon to see these guys breaking around a rack or 2, but
Sure.
you know, the closer we get to that hill for Fernando, the tougher it's going to be for David.
Bring from the side rail, you usually get the corner ball, 4 ball in the lower right corner pocket if he hits it solidly. And it came up short. And you can see the spin on the cue ball, didn't hit it solidly, but the 7 ball leaks in. It's got a shot in the 1, but shot for a safety. It would be very interesting. 8 ball as a run out game is a very cerebral run out game. 9 ball, less thinking. You know which ball you're supposed to shoot.
Question from William about them switching to 9 ball. Yeah, that's one of the things that's unique about the U.S. Amateur Championship is it is a combination of 8 ball and 9 ball. So you can't just dominate in one particular discipline. So again, they play 5 games of 8 ball and then they switch to 9 ball.
Yeah, the only way you can dominate is if you started off with 9 ball and won the first 7.
Right.
In this case, they started off with 8 ball. Fernando dominated it, but can't shut him out just an 8-ball. David comes back at least with a 9-ball and has a chance to keep on hitting back at a different discipline. Safety is a little short, so I believe the 1 ball goes in the side pocket.
Playing here at Strokers in Palm Harbor.
Palm
For those of you
Harbor,
that are
Florida.
asking, where are they? Palm Harbor, just across the bay from Tampa.
That's right.
Jose and his crew here at Strokers have been fantastic as always.
House pro here is Rolando, who is probably, in my estimation, the best house pro in the country. That's my opinion.
Really?
But we'll see what everybody else thinks.
Interesting.
Unfortunately for David, he's spent less time at the table, and the wagon wheels are shaking here.
Yeah.
He missed a relatively easy shot for him. He's been shooting great all weekend long.
Yeah, you know, just suffered his first loss in that last match with Daniel Gamble.
And that was a close match, too.
Hill.
Can't get closer than that.
No.
He mounted a tremendous comeback on his last time he was at the streaming table. He was down 5-0 to begin with also, and won the next 6.
Okay, so maybe he's just getting Fernando where he wants him.
Exactly. Yeah, you know, some people are good from behind, but I like to think most people would like to
yeah,
do their running from the lead. What I like about Fernando's pace is that it's not going to break down. It's already down.
Yeah.
Just bounce back, try to get to the center of the table so you can reach it. And this is going to be a tough reach for a right-hander, I think. It's going to be stretched out again. And when you're stretched out, it's tougher to get the good stroke on the ball. In this case, he needs to pop it 2 rails around or draw it, but it looks like drawing it would get him kind of going the wrong way. He may go forward here 2 rails. Yeah, he's going forward 2 rails. Smack this hard. 5 in the side pocket, I think. There it is. 2 rails around, and if it doesn't get on the rail, probably stop shot here. He looks good. Let's watch him run these out. You can see David in the background just hoping. He's hoping.
Hoping and waiting.
That's right.
That's all you can do sometimes.
It's in the chair. I like that shot. You want to keep it short of the line so he can slide over, has an angle to slide over instead of having to do something funny.
Yeah, so it looks like barring a big mistake by Freddie, he's going to go on the hill here.
Fernando.
I keep saying Freddie and Fernando.
Like
Freddie Agner, your host here, along with Jason Bowman, at the table.
Don't get
Fernando
straight.
Vaca.
He didn't want to get straight. Now he's going to take a look and see if he shakes his head.
My buddy Lee Brett saying hello. You know Lee?
I know
Lee Brett?
I know him, but you know, other than knowing who he is, we're not friends
I know
or
he was
acquaintances or anything like that. But of course,
he was
I know
down
who
in
Lee
Southern
is.
California for a while. He's now in Ohio, but we've been doing some instructional videos and things with him. So glad you're tuning in, Lee.
Lee is a very good instructor, especially for pool players, because you know, I think he's got the pool player mentality with the snooker style of mechanics.
Yeah.
He's overdrawn this ball. Like, oh, that died there. And certainly looked like he overdrew it as much as he smacked it. Maybe he used a little touch of inside to kill it. But he did put his hand up like he overstroked it, or it came up a little bit different than what he was doing. 9-ball here to get on the hill. He's in there.
The 9-ball goes.
Man on the hill. His mechanics are pretty good. I mean, really good. And it's only broken down a couple of shots that I've seen. A couple of deep draw shots. But
And
the
we
rest
really
of
haven't
his
seen any.
mechanic's very good.
haven't seen any ill effects from the shot clock.
No,
I mean,
no.
you almost wish we were just going at this pace the last couple rounds. But
This match is going to go too quickly now.
yeah. So again, the winner here is going to face off against Brian Parks. The loser will finish tied for 5th place with Brett Stottlemyre, who just finished up about an hour ago against Brian. Strong 5th place performance for him.
Brett had a good tournament. He had a tough time on the TV table here, on the streaming table, but on the other tables he looked fantastic.
Yeah, you see that sometimes. You know, if a player's not real comfortable with eyeballs on them, sometimes the being on the table is a little intimidating.
Well, this streaming table does play differently, and I took a photo of it. The lights are, it's so bright underneath this table compared to all the other ones that it would certainly throw most people off.
Yeah.
Again, he has a lot of spin on his object ball, and
Try on the break.
nothing in. Well, it's 6-0 Fernando Vaca. So if David's going to mount the comeback, it starts with this ball.
Yes, sir. Rianne, yes, Brian will play the winner of this match. Nice Sunday afternoon audience that we have here. Freddie,
Excellent.
600 folks tuning in. We appreciate everybody that's tuning in. Again, watching live coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship from Strokers in Palm Harbor, produced by the American Pool Players Association in conjunction with the folks here at Strokers. Of course, we've had Alvin Nelson from Inside Pool here helping us bring you this coverage. A lot of the outstanding commentary with Freddie. I know Kerry McCullough was here last night, another participant in the event, so we appreciate everybody that gets involved and helps bring you folks the coverage. You know, without these guys, tough to do what we do, so we appreciate all their hard work.
Kerry is from the Boston area. He's a New Englander as I am, or mostly my hometown is in New England, Massachusetts, Greenfield, Massachusetts. David set himself up for this one of these combinations where the 5-ball tends to leak out and end up on the bottom rail. He needs to make sure the cue ball comes across. A little fortunate to get that in, but you know, we got to root for David to get this in and make a match out of this. He really came with a good shot in his first shot. The 1 ball from 9 feet away, he thundered it in, got perfect position. 1 rail across, back and forth, right to his fingers and out. He hit that too thin, and he's come too far across. Need to hit that one a little bit fatter. He's not shaking his head too much, so he must have a shot here, or maybe he just there's a little head shake. Tough shot. Back cut on the 6-ball, 3 rails around with a cue ball. Keep your form, David. Overcut it. Cue ball all the way there on the table. Fernando has a shot to close it out. Tough first shot, 6 in the side pocket. But if he makes this, looks like the cue ball will go 1, 2, 3, 4 rails around for the 7-ball in the corner pocket. Tough first shot.
Let's try to go through the bracket here to see who handed him his first loss. Let's see. Of course, if you're following
He
players,
decided to play safe instead of going all the way around the table. I would have loved to have seen that fired round, played as if you're in the lead, but he shows great discipline by playing a safety. But David does have a 1 rail kick. Certainly going to hit the 6-ball. Don't know if he can make it, but he's going to have a couple balls flying. Down 6-0, I think I just rear back and hit this with break speed and say, let's see what I get.
right?
He'd get all 3 balls in motion if he wants to. Cue ball off the 6, 7 goes flying. Cue ball goes into the 9-ball. 6-ball might leak across table. Looking for some gin.
Looks like Fernando lost the 7:30 round last night to former champion Bruce Choice.
A lot of former champions here.
Yeah,
this
seven
year.
in the men's division, I believe.
Oh, he smacked it hard, and only the 6-ball moved. Well, this shot's tougher than the other shot that Fernando passed up at shooting, considering that this one doesn't really lead well to the 7-ball. So if he played a safety on the other one, I'd expect him to play a safety on this one, even though I think other people play a 6-ball in the corner pocket as you have the lead and then bank the 7. Wow, he looks like he's rearing back and firing. That'd be amazing.
And a question about, again, Dan and James. Match time has been delayed. I believe they will be on the stream. Not sure if Brian and the winner of this game will be playing at the same time. I don't know. Have you heard anything about that, Alvin? What they plan to do with James, and I'm going to see if Alvin can track down that info for you folks while we await the outcome of this match.
Meanwhile, Fernando did take the flyer, which is surprising, as that wasn't how he would normally shoot it and watching games 1 through 6, but he decided that he'd shoot at it, and he laid it up perfect for a hanger out for David Singleton. David decided to brush the side rail just to remind him that he's still playing.
Freddie, it sounds like they're going to put Daniel Gamble and James on the stream table next. Brian and the winner of this match will play at the same time. So
okay,
we will be bringing you the lone undefeateds following this match.
Well, that makes sense.
Again, James Adams, Daniel Gamble. Florida versus North Carolina.
David on the board. No shutout, no eggs, no bagels. I would have tried to figure out how to put a bacon reference on there, but I missed my opportunity.
Our tournament director, Bill Tufts, has been trying to get me to call nice shots pork chop sandwiches for whatever reason. So
we're going to do it.
He'll be thrilled that we at least worked out the term.
We had
pork chop sandwiches.
I'd say something about how David is breaking, but I don't know that he's broken one time on this match except for did he break the first one?
No, because Fernando won the lag, took the break, and David opted to start in the 8-ball set. So this is his first break.
And he's breaking from the box, which usually doesn't work out in 9-ball as far as making an automatic ball. And you see, not an automatic, but a ball did get in. He smashed him pretty hard, and I think that's what it was. He just wanted to sit him hard to get some frustrations out. He's fallen on a combination here after the 1-ball. I think he's really forced to play it. There's nothing fancy he can do to play position here, I don't believe, for the 3-ball, so he played the 3-9. I think he's rolling forward. I think he's trying to figure out whether or not he can just do a stop shot and hold the ball there or go forward. Let's see. He's hitting high, so he's going forward, try to get back on the same line. And he wants it dead straight, so he just shoots right at the 3-ball and powers in the 9. He likes it. No handshake, no head shake. This is odd. He's right-handed, but he's using his left hand to aim it up. I don't even know what he's looking at, to tell you the truth.
Ambidextrous, right?
Yeah, but
no, he's going to shoot.
I don't know how the people. Then he looked away. And then he looked away. So if it works, I'm going to do that from now on. Now I'm on the corner pocket and missed it by a mile. Yeah, I can't see how that actually works, but I'm sure he's been doing it for the 20 or so, 15, 18 years that he's been playing. I should ask him about that.
Fernando Vaca back at the table here.
He's on the hill, so if he gets out here, he'll close out this match. Overcut it. There's no way he can get to the 4-ball like that, and I'm sure that wasn't a safety. But if he made this ball, it would have cut a little less, and maybe he would have been going up towards his 8-ball, but it certainly didn't look like he hit it with a speed that would give him position for the 4-ball. I'd find it hard to believe he was actually trying to play some kind of safety. It looked like he was shooting right at it. Everything looks tough for David. Down 6-1. This was almost straight, so he has to roll it in with a little bit of left-hand English to a ball that he's got straight in on. Now he's again straight, so now he's going to have to cheat the pocket with a little left-hand English. Get to the 5-ball. He's got to get an angle to get up to him. This is all, you'd think this is so easy, but of course down 6-1.
Getting some questions about these players' handicaps. Of course, there is no handicap used here at the U.S. Amateur Championship. I did speak to David before his match. I know he plays APA in Volusia County, where he has a skill level 7 and 8-ball and 9 and 9-ball. I'm not sure on Fernando, but again, most of the participants in this event are going to be at your top tier in terms of the skill levels. 7s and 9s, maybe a few 6s in some cases, but
And certainly an 8-ball, since we saw Fernando, win every game, and he ran out almost every time that he stepped up to the table when it was supposed to be a run out. I would be shocked if he wasn't a 7.
Right.
But David's fallen short here. As I said, it wasn't really all that easy the way the 3, 4, 5 lay to get up to the 7-ball. And if he makes this, he's not exactly going to be rewarded either unless he flies the cue ball around the table. And opts for the safe, which is a very smart shot at this stage. Didn't completely block this. Well, he did that. Fernando's gonna have to kick this ball. I don't know if Fernando jumps. His rail work has been very good, so I expect him to kick this ball. I can kick this ball right in the pocket. Short kick. Yeah, as soon as they say that, he's reaching for the jump cue.
Fernando's skill level 7 and 8 ball, so 7 and 8 ball, 9 and 9 ball. Plays in Montgomery and Frederick counties in Maryland, so as we suspected, Freddie, he's good.
Every player left is,
right.
going to be that 7 and 9.
Beautiful.
Jumped it in.
Beautiful.
Back cut combination for the match.
Fernando now 2 balls away from moving forward.
Never an easy shot here. Back cut combination, half a table length away.
Just want to remind you folks, at the conclusion of this match, we will have shortly thereafter matchup of Daniel Gamble and James Adams, the lone undefeateds here. One of those players is going to move into the final round. The other will have a little bit longer road to go. Have to play an extra match there.
Extra match.
But again, it should be an excellent match, and encourage you guys to stick around after this match. See who emerges victorious and moves ahead to the finals.
Here we go, 9-ball in the corner pocket, combination. Doesn't go. David didn't exactly jump out of the chair.
Well, he's hanging by a thread.
That's right. It looks like he's going to have to bring this cue ball all the way down table and back up. I think hitting it slow is the problem with that is you lose your stroke hitting so slow.
I know Alvin's here really rooting for an extended race here, so.
That's a pretty useful shot.
You're big on the hills, aren't you?
Always vote for the guy ahead.
All right. So David Singleton again staves off elimination.
Staves off elimination. I like it. Just
now with 2 games under his belt. Well, and we know that he has already mounted one big comeback,
comeback
for the TV audience. So again,
does he have another?
let's not count him out just yet.
Well, it'll be interesting how he breaks this time. Last time he broke from the outer edge of the box. Crushed him pretty hard.
Some questions about Fernando and the jump cue. So yes, jumping is obviously allowed. The difference between the U.S. Amateur Championship format and APA leagues is that the jump cue is also allowed here at the U.S. Amateur Championship, not allowed in standard league play. So,
you know, there are a lot of APA players out there listening and watching, and it's a big point that even in, you know, there's some rules that you have to take a look at your book to make sure.
Right.
Right. You can't use a jump stick during league. You can use a jump stick during this event, even though there's an APA event.
Right.
APA sponsored event.
U.S. Amateur Championship and Masters would be the other.
Masters also.
The Masters format, which is real popular with a lot of the guys that are in this particular event. A lot of those same guys you'll see out in Vegas playing Masters. Ernesto Bayawa, Brian Parks. The list goes on and on and on. You see all those guys out in Vegas. Robert Hall.
Monster players out there in the leagues. Some kind of league, the Masters League.
Love watching that Masters format too. Very similar to the U.S. Amateur Championship with a combination 8-ball and 9-ball, but a team format. So always fun to watch that.
Interesting. The run out is here, but it looks like he's playing the 1-9 combination, which is not a bad play at all. 1-9 combination for the match. And it's in.
Vaca,
We
Vaca,
have a
Vaca.
winner.
Fernando
That shot
Vaca.
deserves a pork
Chop
chop
sandwich.
sandwich.
There you go, Freddie. You got it in there, buddy. There you
7-2.
go.
Fernando Vaca moves on. Great tournament for David Singleton.
Yeah, David will finish in 5th place. Head back to the Daytona area. Proud of his performance here at the U.S. Amateur Championship. Freddie's going to move on. He's got a tall task.
Fernando's going to move on.
Fernando. God, Freddie, I'm killing it here.
Fernando's going to go on, and he has to face multi-time champion Brian Parks.
Tough order right there.
Next match is at?
Next match will be coming up momentarily, folks. I encourage you just to stick around. You're going to have Daniel Gamble and James Adams, both undefeated, coming at you in just a couple of minutes. One of those is going to advance to the final round. The other will have an extra match against the winner of the Brian Parks Fernando Vaca match. So again, stick with us and we'll be back here momentarily.
Well, my name is David Singleton. I'm from Port Orange, Florida. I've been living there since 1999. I play on Uncle Waldo's Billiards in South Daytona, and there's also another place called Full Moon that's on Main Street in Daytona Beach. Yeah.
How long have you been playing?
I joined APA when I turned 21, so about 8 years ago. That would be 2007, I believe. And I played BCA around just about a year or two after that.
So only 7 years.
In competitive, I mean, I've been playing pool since I was like 13. A little bit, yeah. We had a table at the house when we moved down here, 99. That's when we got our table.
Yep. Excellent. What do you love about the game?
The challenge. I think like 8-ball, it's so much strategic, like chess. It's just, you got to think about every shot, and it's not always about who's shooting the best to play. You can outsmart your opponent. 9-ball is more of a shooter's game because you can shoot your way out of stuff. But I do like 8-ball more than 9-ball.
So what do you love about 8-ball?
Just the fact that like it's. You can play some really cool defensive shots, and even lower players don't appreciate sometimes how good of a defensive shot is, and you can show off so much more of a defense than you can with offense.
It matters a lot.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge. Here we are at the U.S. Amateur Championship. When you're playing really, really good, and then all of a sudden you make this really horrible shot. How does that affect your game?
I mean, it probably affects everyone a little bit, but you try to brush it off and get to the next shot.
I think depends on the scoring too.
Yeah. I choke more when I'm ahead. When I'm behind, when I'm behind, I am shooting better than I am shooting behind, or shooting ahead.
And just opposite that, when you're in a tough spot, you've got a really tough shot that you've got to break out to get set up for the next thing, and you make that ball. How does that affect your game?
It feels good. Definitely when you're trying to break out something, because you have to focus on the shots here. These pockets are really tight, and you can't take off the shot, because if you just focus on the breakout, you'll miss your shot.
Even though the run hooks, they're tight.
Yeah, the pockets are tight. Yeah, they're just smaller than 2 balls, I think.
Well, here you are, still at the U.S. Amateur Championship. You just finished up a match, and how do you think you're doing?
I'm doing a lot better than I expected. My goal was to get better than last year, which was 25th, and I think I'm guaranteed 5th, 6th right now, so that's 20 places better than last year. Honestly, when I played Henry, I thought it was me tough. I thought he'd win, and then I just started out real strong against him and ended up beating him. And then my next opponent was a guy who beat me last year, Ryan Hollingsworth or something like that. And he got me 5-0. I was like, okay, just playing for fun now. And all of a sudden, I started winning game after game after game, and ended up winning that match.
I watched that match yesterday, and it was surprising and fun to see that comeback.
I know. I can't wait to rewatch it.
We'll have that on the Billiard Channel and Inside Pool TV. How has pool affected your life, and how much does your family and friends support you, or do they?
Oh, they support me a lot. My dad. I play with my dad every week, and he's the one that taught me how to play pool and brought me to the pool halls when I was a kid, and he's the one that got the table for our house, so I got to play pool at the house all the time. So, and when I first joined APA, I joined his team, so we were in the same team together, and it was really cool to play with him and learn a lot from him.
Definitely a family affair.
Yeah.
So, from the time you joined the APA up to this point, here you are playing in the amateur championships, guaranteed 5th, 6th, or
I think so. I think 5th, 6th, yeah.
how do you feel about getting that far in the APA?
It's really feels really good. It'd be nice because it's hard to get to 5th, 6th. So I mean, I'm trying to get farther than I can because I might not get 5th, 6th again ever again. So I'm trying to win the whole tournament. But if I finish 5th, 6th, I'm still happy. If I finish 4th, 3rd, whatever, I would be really happy no matter what.
You're a hell of a player. We watched you from day 1, 2, and here we are on 3. And you have done just absolutely awesome. You should be proud of that. You've done so well.
Thank you.
Anybody you want to say hi to, or shout outs or sponsors?
I should shout out to all my friends in Daytona and the pool halls I play out of, all those, and Full Moon, and my friend Heather who came and support me, and all those other my family and everything like that.
Cool. Any final thoughts or advice for anybody who's thinking about getting into APA?
Start off slow and learn. Just take your time. Don't try to go over your head with learning, because you gotta go step by step. If you try to go over your head, you're going to get frustrated too much, and it's going to hurt your game. You want to start out learning basics and then work your way up.